Hey, what's up, drone fam? Welcome to another Inspire with Drones. I'm Timothy Brazil, and oftentimes I get asked the question, what contracts do you use, or which contracts should I use for my drone jobs? Well, I've been getting this question a lot from one of my previous videos, one that you could probably see it right here. And so I kind of want to answer that, and I want to, so basically what I've done, I created a simple approach, step-by-step process of what type of contracts there are out there, and what you need to have included in your contract, and the importance of it. So let's get right into it. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would, please give this video a like, share, and even subscribe to help this video reach more individuals like yourself. So right off the bat, why contracts? Why do we need them? Why should us as drone pilots, drone operators use them? Well, they have a significant benefit. You see, contracts, or what I like to call service agreements, they actually protect you as well as the client, both legally as well as financially. Because anytime you step into a new project or new role, and it's a pretty big job, or it's a lot of detail in that job, you always want to make sure that both parties are on the same page. Many times people get taken advantage of, especially contractors. They may get taken advantage of, or even clients even get taken advantage of, if there is no binding document agreement that holds both sides accountable, right? And so this is why contracts are so important. So I have a few things here that I want to share with you all. First, let's talk about the different types of contracts. Now, the one that I'm more so speaking about today, and it's pretty much the main one that I typically use, and probably a common one that you will use as well, that is the service agreement. Okay, so the service agreement here is really just your basic contract. It just outlines the details of the job, of the venue, of the event, whatever it is that's going on. It just basically covers everything that's supposed to take place during that event. All right. So next, you have, say you need to license a certain footage. Okay. Well, in that case, if that's the case, then you need a licensing agreement. Okay, that's what you need. You need a licensing agreement. If you are working under another company, then you want to then acquire what's called a subcontractor agreement. All right. And then lastly, if you are, say, whatever you are involved in deals with or involves a lot of privacy, security type matters, then you may want to throw in what's called a NDA, which stands for non-disclosure agreement. All right. I'm not going to break all those down, but this is just to give you a insight of the different types of agreements. Now, there are many more, but these are the most common. And so let's move right into it, because there are at least 5, maybe more. There's probably more, but I'd say top 5, there are at least 5 must-have clauses that you need to have in your contract, okay, in your service agreement. So the first one is scope of work. And what I mean by scope of work is basically what you are delivering and when. Make that plain. Write it out. Explain what your services or service is rendering, and explain when it's going to happen. Detail and show forth the location, the time of the event, the objective, just any bit of information to capture the overall scope of the event. That's key. That's number 1. All right. Next is payment terms. In other words, how much and when is it due? That's probably the biggest part that everybody else cares about, right? Is the payment part. This is all up to you. Now, I'm not going to go through, what you should charge and all that stuff. That's a whole another video in itself. But what I will tell you is, based on whatever you determine, you need to make sure that your clients understand this is what you're asking for. Okay, you need to also understand that it is necessary to let them know if there are any discounts involved, if there are any other payment options involved. You need to let them know what forms of payment you accept. All of that stuff needs to be ironed out and indicated in your service agreement. Okay, I know for me, back when I used to do a lot of weddings and stuff like that, what I would give my clients the option to do is if they can't or don't want to pay all up at front. Oh, and that's another thing. Do you want to get paid up front or later? That's on you. You have to make that determination. Me, I like getting paid up front, but I do give the option when it's a big project, pay half now, half later, at least 1 week prior to the venue. That works for me. I've never had any issues, never had any complaints. And so, yeah. All right. And then next, cancellations. Now, this is a big one, you guys. This actually, I had an experience here. Cancellations is key because what happens if someone backs out? And so what do? Do they need to give you an advance notice? You need to write that down. Do they need to make you aware in a timely manner? You need to write that down. Will you have a refund clause in there, or will you have a no refund clause in there? You need to write that down. That needs to be specified. Okay? All right, moving on. Footage rights. In other words, who owns the right to the content? Now, that is huge. I have that in a little clause on my service agreements, because you want to make sure that the client understands how the content will and will not be used. All right, so that's important and that is key. And then lastly, and I'd say this last because I don't always use it per se, because I feel it is optional and it's based on the situation, the scenario that you're in. However, it's always great, especially since we're talking about drones, to have insurance when you're out doing certain jobs. So, have a section that breaks down the type of insurance that you're using, especially when you're working with a company or have been hired by a company to do a said project for them. You want to come in professionally, letting them know that, hey, you're covered on your end should there be an accident, and also by putting them on that insurance also helps protect them too in terms of a liability standpoint. So if you're wondering, well, Tim, which drone insurance should I use? I got one for you, and I think you'll like this one. It's called Skywatch.ai. Skywatch.ai. What I love about Skywatch.ai is that they have different packages. Well, I don't want to say packages, but they just have different options that allow you to choose the best insurance that would work best for you. Okay, and so for me, if I do monthly, great. If I want to do annually, I can do that too. Or if I just need insurance on an hourly basis based on the job, I can do that too. So, and it gives you the option to add additional drones, additional equipment. And so it is really beneficial, and it is necessary to make sure that you indicate that in your service agreement if it's necessary, if it deems necessary. Okay. So now, where can I find these contracts? Well, there are at least 3 sites that you can use. They already have things built up and designed for you. So they really take out a lot of the work for you. I don't use them personally, but again, I'm just sharing the resources in case someone wants to check it out and really utilize them. The first one is Honeybook. Honeybook is a site or application where you can find templates. And then you have Bonsai, and then lastly, Docracy. Again, I've never really used those, but then you may be wondering, well, what do you use? And what did you do? Thought you never asked. So what I did, and this was years ago, back when I first started doing videography services and stuff like that, I simply went online. This is like 2013, 2014, right? I just typed in online, free free contract templates. I found something that I thought looked a bit decent. And so what I did was I used that and created my own version. I modified that and created my own version to use, and to send to my clients, right? So that's simply what I did. And that's basically what I've been using, along with some other ones and stuff like that I've came across along the way. And then, or maybe you can probably just call a lawyer and see if you want to pay for that. I don't know if it's a free service or not, but that is something that you can look into. I have heard of individuals doing that too. You can always get legal guidance and maybe have one drafted for you to have the specific terms and conditions and the things that you need to have in there, and to make sure that the wording is properly organized and in place to read in the way that a contract should read, okay? And then after that, you don't want to skip on e-signatures. And the reason why I say you don't want to skip this is because, yes, you can probably print out the agreement. You can meet the person in person and have them sign, and you just got to make sure that they get a copy. But in these days, things can be done electronically via eSign. And I love some of the platforms that are out there. The one that I use specifically is DocuSign. I like DocuSign, but there's others. There's Adobe Sign, and there's another one, HelloSign. I haven't used any of those, but yeah, eSignature is a must, because until it is signed, it is not a legally binding document that you can that anyone can hold anyone accountable to, because number one, there's no signature. Number two, there's no date showing a timestamp of when this was agreed upon. Okay, so take advantage of that. DocuSign is great. I would recommend, with any document that you have, if it's not already in a PDF format, make sure you export it to PDF and then upload it to one of those sites, so that then you can add in the specific fields that will enable your client and yourself to sign electronically, okay? And then once you're done, send it to your client, wait for them to respond, and then you're good. You're good. You are good. And so that's basically it, man. Again, it's up to you. You don't have to, but it sure does. It sure does make you appear more professional and prepared when you go in with a document of some sort of agreement that, between you and the client, helps both parties understand and know, hey, this is what's expected. This is what's going on. These are everything that we discussed. I normally have a one-on-one discussion, whether it be email, text, or over the phone, right? That's normally how I communicate. And then once we agree upon, okay, so they want to hire me, all right, now we're going to do the contract phase. And everything that I discuss, everything that I discuss, I bear it out in the contract, so that they can't say that we didn't talk about this, okay? So that's it, bottom line. If you're flying for business, you need to protect yourself like a pro. So what I've done to get you guys started, for those who want to go ahead and take it upon yourself to go ahead and do some research and figure this out and look at some of the apps and sites that I shared with you, go right ahead. But to try to make the process a little easy, I provided a link in the description, okay? This link is going to take you directly to Google Drive, my Google Drive, where I give you access to download a free template that you can use. Now, this is just a simple, basic draft template. You can customize it, you can modify it, you could do whatever you want as long as it looks the way you want it to look. You can add your logo on it. It's in a Word format, but I'm giving it to you. I'm allowing you to take advantage, download it, use it, all right? All right, so that's it. Hey, listen, thank you for staying with me. I hope that you guys got something out of this. Don't forget to give this video a like, share, subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out of here.